Woo! Yes.
Dre.
Yeah, man. Hey, we finally got a name, man.
Off the bench.
Welcome to the show, man. It's your boy Dre, the one and only, the only one you need.
Crazy.
And I'm here with...
TVN, aka TV Nico.
Also, I'm here with...
DJ. Your boy's here. We're here to sell you some stories.
Yes, we're here finally.
Yes, guys, this is a new show, so please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be playing a lot of games, having a couple discussions, and having verses against each other.
Pause.
But yeah, let's get straight into it, man. Nico, what have you got for us today, man?
Boys, today we've got an exciting show, I can't lie. Going to talk about the managerial positions within the top 6.
All right.
So I'm sure we've got a lot to say.
Think of it as like an end of year review.
It's been a long season, boys.
I
I think there's only one place to start regarding a result that happened this week.
What a cheers. What a cheers.
All right, so we've got Mauricio Pochettino at Chelsea.
Don't smile. I don't even like how you're smiling, bro.
I got a question for you. Right?
Get this guy out, please.
Hey, bro, you're over-exaggerating, man.
Please.
The thing is, you can't get rid of him yet.
We can do anything, bro. This is football. You can do anything. You don't need to tell me if a child could look at that game and say by half time you need to make subs and you wait till 65th minute to do anything. What are you there for?
All right. So
what are you there for?
I got a question for you then. All right. So before you guys brought him in, he had a 38% win rate at Southampton. Probably had Tottenham's best ever team. You see, like Lloris, Rose, Alderweireld, Kane, so on. Yeah. He won the League One, obviously in the Liga 1 in France, Coupe de France.
What is
but
Liga?
Why? Can you explain to me at the start of the season? I know a lot of Chelsea fans were excited about it. But you probably was as well. I can't deny. Yeah, I think a lot of people were thinking that he might. Why did you think the board brought him in at first?
At first, I think it was because Nagelsmann said no, or he said at the present point he didn't want to go into managerial.
And you missed the bullet with him.
Do you know what I'm saying? That was really the first. I think like that upon reflection of my club, I should say, because at one present point, I stopped watching the match after like 40th minute.
Yeah,
I was still getting notifications. So after the 5th goal, I was dawning on myself. I was like, this badge don't even mean what it used to mean. Like in my head, like how I embody my club isn't what is on the physical plane for the world to see and judge.
But do you think you can't just blame Poch?
No. I don't blame Poch because then it goes back to all of this. What I'm saying, he wasn't our first choice.
Yeah, our
sport directors currently weren't even our first choice. We wanted the previous sports director from both RB Leipzig and the sister club of RB Leipzig. The two guys we got, they're fighting like button heads, and we're getting Nicholas Jackson as our main striker.
What are you, Joe? What do you think? Can you actually blame
I'm
Poch?
gonna bang this guy's face, bro. Why is he smiling like this,
for example,
bro?
like when I saw Nico Jackson go through and go, bro, he doesn't even hit the target. He can't even hit the target. You can't blame that on Poch at all.
That's not Poch. That's what I'm saying. That's our recruitment. That's what I'm saying. It's everything from up top to down below. That's what I'm saying. The representation of the badge, what that club means, how we hold ourselves accountable in a certain accord. Like, bro, Maria Makasklava, I'm butchering her name. Maria, you know who you are. She would never do this.
Yeah.
She would never bring any player like this to come and embarrass us like this.
Yeah.
What? It can't. I was so. I don't want to bring back their emotions. I was in a dark place yesterday, man. I was in a dark place.
The thing with Chelsea right now is that Chelsea can't go back. This is a new thing. This is the first proper season you've had with this whole new Todd Bowley in charge, the manager. You've got these whole players in 8-year contracts. You can't even go back on it because of the whole financial
like
fair
5,
system.
6, 7,
exactly.
Like 7-year
it's
contracts.
Like you are stuck. You're stuck with what you're with.
I don't think we're stuck, but I know that additions and some absolute executions need to occur immediately. I need to see dread hair dip because I had enough. He had like 5 starts. I've seen enough because he looks like a worse version of Hudson-Odoi, and I'm trying to think to myself, how did we get here? How did we get here? Like, I'm trying to like, it's not making any sense. And really and truly, it's about what Poch is doing now. So I would say in terms of, there was a rumor about him being somewhat, what do you call those people that they want to mitigate big things, but they can't do the small things? But either or, he couldn't really control the Neymars, the big guys, because he wasn't giving them the sort of translation in terms of what he wanted out of them. So that was a big factor of why he actually left PSG. And like a lot of the big players in that midfield at that present time, they even advocated for what Neymar was saying. Again, there's a rumor out there that Enzo was injured. Cool. Why is he still on the pitch?
Yeah.
There's a somewhat rumor that he didn't have a choice with the Ian Maatsen going to Dortmund. Okay, fine. Why are you letting Hill go to Newcastle? Like, so many decisions.
Bad decisions.
Like, so many decisions. I'm just sitting in my room yesterday.
I think you're right, because those decisions are from the top, right?
Literally.
Yeah, but then you see in-game decisions as well, not just from the players, but the manager does have a fault. Like, Joe, I see you smiling over there, bro. What do you want to say? What do you want to say?
Hey, yo, listen. You know what? I haven't said a word for 5 minutes.
No, go on.
I haven't said a word.
Let him talk.
I've been like, you know what? This is one of my friends. And it's so, like, this is so hard on me to see him like this. Because I've never heard him speak so much in my life. He's so upset. And you know what, bro? I'm here for you, man. Like, bro, you know what? He has to get this off his chest. And if you know anything about this YouTube channel or the Instagram, like, we have been on a separate show before and he hasn't been able to, you know, get this off his chest as such. So you know what? I'm going to finish talking in a bit because I know he's got a lot more to say, you know? And, you know, I'm not too, like, happy that it was my club that bought this out of him. You know, this is the largest defeat that Chelsea have ever had to Arsenal, you know. It was very embarrassing. And I had like secondhand embarrassment because I know quite a lot of Chelsea fans, you know. And like, if you could see him now, he wants to, you know, explode with anger, with rage. And yesterday, he did tell me, I spoke to him, like, he almost cried yesterday, innit? And I don't want that for my boy, innit? But this is a new start. Like, I don't know what Chelsea fans expected, but this is certainly not what they expected, innit? It's a new beginning of Chelsea, innit? And it's going to take time, bro. And you can't really blame Poch. Yes, he's done some questionable things.
Nah.
Or I say some, he's done a lot of questionable things, innit? But, bro, he's doing the best he can, innit? Could you say that he's brought the best out of Cole Palmer?
No, bro, that was Cole. You could tell that's him.
Yeah, but he's giving him that kind of right mid, like, free roll. He can do what he wants, innit? He's not scolded for.
He didn't start. The reason why I know it's not him because he didn't start there.
He started up top. He started up top. Yeah,
he was doing all that in Nkunku in the 10, with the Jackson on the left, and then Broya in front. So then he could then sub on Palmer. Palmer only started playing on the right, if my memory serves me correct, because he didn't like the whole Connor in the 10 by himself.
No.
Neither do I, Connor. I love you, but you know, you might be a West Ham player.
Listen, it's tough. It's tough times. It's tough times. Like, you're not getting relegated. That's a positive. You know, mathematically, you're not getting relegated. Like, there's no chance of you falling into the Championship. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a positive. Cole Palmer, top goal scorer, and you're what, 10th? Positive. You know what I'm saying? Thiago Silva, he cried in the semis. Positive. Shows passion. You know what I mean? There's always a flip side to, you know, everything. There's always two sides of the story.
I honestly feel like if we actually got to that final, I would be more angry now.
You'd be more angry. Why?
Because it reaffirms the point that we're currently built as a cup team.
Do you think it's just
like do you know what?
Inconsistent. Your team's inconsistent.
Like a cup team is only able to do that.
Yeah.
Every other fortnight or every other whenever that tournament game is on, they can show up or
But
somewhat show up.
this is why I can't blame Poch too much, because I think that the way not Todd Bowley, because there's probably more people involved, right?
We have two sporting directors. I'm missing their names, but I'm gonna get it back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put them here.
But the face of it is him,
There-
right?
It's their fault.
And and they're the ones that are obviously deciding on who's to get in. Because when Poch came in, Poch maybe didn't have that much say when it by me. How much was Mudryk? 8 million.
Right? He outed himself. He said that it was not my decision to bring certain players, but we have to do something different. And I don't like that. Like, as a manager, don't deflect.
Right.
Like, be astute to being I don't want to swear, bro, being a bloody manager.
Yeah.
Like, that's like me hearing Klopp say, "Oh yeah, Jordan Henderson, I know what he's good at, but he's not a great passer of the ball, but I'm gonna make sure he does what he needs to do for me." That's crazy.
Let me cut in. Let me just say this. Yeah, we need to get back on track because we've let him go on a tangent.
Yeah, he's
needed it. He's needed to do this, but we need to remain focused.
Guy needs to dip.
Quick one, Dre. I've got a question for you as well. Seeing as you're from like more of an unbiased point of view, I guess. In the next 5 years, you think that these players, because they're pretty much going to stay there for next 5 years, because they have
4 or 5 years
very
minimum
long-term contracts, right? And Poch as well, because then it's going to be difficult to sell him within the next year or so. Can they win a trophy, let alone a major trophy? But can they win a trophy?
100%.
Bear in mind, they got to the final for EFL Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Semi-finals against Man City, which they should have won. I think they should have won because they had so many good chances. They're just wasteful. Do you think he and Chelsea can win a trophy together?
100%. Right now, this Chelsea team is like, they can't go the distance, but for those short 100 meter sprints per se, like the cup games, they can do it, man. 100%, bro. Like, they've almost achieved cup glory twice. Like, it's unfair. Well, I wouldn't say it's unfair, but it's unlucky that they came up against City. They should have won. Obviously, Nicholas Jackson, innit? But it's not just solely him, innit? EFL Cup against Liverpool, bro.
Twice, wasn't it, last year?
Yeah, as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's...
Coincidentally,
what do you think? Do you guys
coincidentally, it's so funny how you said it's not just Nicholas Jackson. I remember, coincidentally, I saw random clips on my feed showing me random Drogba clips. I saw a random one of Drogba, chest, down, shoulder, bang, against a same team in a big final.
Yeah.
And I had water in my eyes. I swear, I was like, I was gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose it.
As a Chelsea fan, do you think you can win a trophy in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, 100%. We haven't. Well, in my lifetime, we haven't had that kind of stint.
Were you born like 2006? No.
Nah, bro. We was 1995, bro.
Exactly. So you did have.
Nah.
Yes.
Check, go back, bro.
Yes, you have.
We won the FA Cup.
I think Chelsea are very capable of winning a trophy. For me, it has to be a cup, though, not a league.
No.
The reason I say it is because
5 years is a long time.
It is a long time, and when I see these players, I see them like they sort of rise for the occasion, which sometimes a cup game is an occasion because it's just a one-off game. Whereas the league, we've got to be consistent every week.
I would be very shocked if we're not contending.
I'll be shocked as well, but
like if we're not back to that top four in the next 4 years, because I don't like. For me, there's a when it works. When we play, when it works, it works.
What would you rate his so far, Mauricio Pochettino overall from all the competitions he's been in?
I'd give him maybe between.
8?
No.
Oh,
I'd give him maybe between a 5.8, 6.1.
Very specific. Nice. What are you? Look at it from his point of view. Don't look at it from like
his point of view. No,
from
when I judge a manager, I'm judging your like tactical awareness, adaptability. There's a Are you a breath of fresh air to your players? Are you a breath of fresh air to your what you're bringing to the ethos? I still don't know how exactly we want to play. We're still doing this weird double pivot, innit?
So what would you give him out of 10 then? What would you give him then?
Bro, it's like a 4 for me. 4-3.
Really?
For me.
A 3?
There's no point getting to a final and losing. Do you know our record?
There's so much he can do for himself.
Nah.
I'll give him a 5. I'll give him a 5. I just think of what he's had to work with and what he's had to deal with in terms of like the people above him. He's not done the worst. Obviously in the league, maybe he's done pretty bad, but I don't think he's done the worst as it could be, right?
That's what
So I'll
I
give
said.
him 6.
That's what I gave him a 4. I said
Alright,
a
fair
4.
enough, fair enough.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right. So we're moving on then. Our next manager up for debate is Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. He's been there for now 8 years and a half. He's won one Premier League, a very long time. He's won 1 Premier League, 1 Champions League, 2 EFLs, an FA Cup. No, sorry, not an FA. 1 FA Cup. Sorry, a UEFA Super Cup and a FIFA World Cup. But do you think though, for Liverpool FC, for the club they are, for what they stand for, and for being the so-called one of the most decorated clubs in England, do you think that's enough to say that his tenure at Liverpool has been great or not?
Yeah.
Really?
Would it be better than Rafa Benitez?
100%.
Do you think?
100%.
Well, Rafa won the Champions League, you know?
He won the Champions League and...
He didn't win the Premier League.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you said it's better.
Yeah, Klopp's time has been better than Rafa Benitez's time, bro. Klopp's a great... Bro, Klopp is either the second, because obviously...
Maybe because we don't remember those times.
Yeah, them back in the day. Obviously,
Like, Fernando Torres.
like for me, Klopp is the greatest manager ever. And obviously, I don't know...
Ever?
Maybe second.
Hold on. You think he's the greatest manager, second greatest manager ever?
For Liverpool.
For Liverpool? Okay.
For Liverpool.
So you didn't make that clear, did you?
For Liverpool.
All right.
Yeah,
Fair.
Bro, in 8 years, he's won all those trophies, even though he's won them once.
Yeah.
Do you know who he came up against?
Pep Guardiola.
Like, bro, what do you... Like, he beat him that one time for the league.
Yeah.
The year before, he lost out by 1 point.
Sure,
Very
99, innit?
unfortunate.
Bro, it for what Klopp's done is crazy.
Yeah,
And obviously...
we forget that 99 season.
Like, bro, for obviously right now, Liverpool fans really want to be beefing Arsenal fans, innit? But that's neither here nor there, innit? I can be non-biased. I am a fan of football before anything. And Klopp has done an amazing job. He's overachieved.
Nah, 100.
Even though they won the league during COVID, so people say, like, for what Klopp has done and where he's brought the club back to, it's going to be so hard for the next manager to come in and even, like, get a replica of 50% of what he's done. It's going to be so hard. He's done such a fantastic job.
Compare what he had when he got there, like the islands, storage, the final climb.
The thing is, when I look at it, right, I understand that he's obviously, some people make things overachieve. I think he's just done okay. I don't think he's underachieved either. But if you look at it, right, he probably had one of the best centre backs in the Premier League era.
Okay.
That's some claim in terms of like Virgil van Dijk, and he's had a lot of good partners with him. He's had someone that compliment him, like Joel Matip and Konate. You have two probably the best modern left backs and right backs in world football, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have another world class player in Mo Salah. You have a hard working midfield. We all know about that. And then he's had Mane on one side and Firmino in the middle. But 1 Champions League as well, 2 EFL Cups, right? Which 2 EFL Cups, it's okay, I guess it's not too bad, and 1 FA Cup. But I just think because of all of these players that he's had, he's almost been like a almost type of manager of succeeding. He reached Champions League once as well, as a final. Twice. Yeah. Lost them. He lost in the the Europa League as well, in final. He lost that as well.
Remember that.
He came second so many times under Pep. It's like, I don't know, he's almost been that manager where it's like, it's almost been there. And for me, for Liverpool Football Club, if I was Man United, right, and people look at that, the criticism would be scathing, off the scales.
But I don't think
considering the greatest manager and greatest
I think
Premier League team, or not?
Barring your experience of Sir Alex, I think in most cases
we haven't had no one as close to Jurgen Klopp.
I think in most cases teams, I'm not bugging. In most cases, teams will take that record. It's been extremely unlucky just because you have Pep Guardiola in your same league. There's nothing you can do.
Plus, you have to remember, each season there has been like a justifiable excuse.
You know what I'm saying?
So like the year they lost to Real Madrid in the final, Karius, a couple of mistakes. They had Virgil van Dijk out next season. They've had Trent out this season. Hendo, Firmino out. You know what I mean? It's always something with Liverpool. But Klopp's always pushed through. Even though that season where they finished 4th, Alisson and header. You know what I mean? They've always brought it back. Yeah. It's like
the Champions League final that they lost.
Bear in mind, 9 years though. 9 years he's been there.
And 9 years he's won.
9 years.
Bro, he's won everything in those 9 years.
Of course, but
I'm pretty sure in those 9 years, how many managers has come and gone through Man U?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even like for most clubs, even Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United as well, there's been a lot of come and goes. I think the only guys I think he's one of the most long serving.
And we forget, that before he came in, obviously they had Brendan Rodgers, and he almost got the league. Unfortunately for Gerrard, slip. They had Rafa, who did win things, but the fans were really against him for a majority of to the end of his time.
It's because they were never really close with Rafa to get to the Prem.
Yeah,
like genuinely, there are significant years. The '99 year, the year before that, and the year after that, they were genuinely contending in the Premier League.
Yeah,
because I remember like Liverpool fans having this new audacious like kind of vim towards their team in the Premier League. Like it was always the case. We're a top club. We'll turn up to the big games. But it wasn't like we're here at the final stages.
Right.
So I can't criticize it.
Yeah.
Just because circumstantial, like football is circumstantial at the end of the day. Like the year Man City win the treble, that's circumstantial. You have to give everything falling into alignment.
All right, fair enough. Well, I mean, you got Jabi Alonso and Ruben Amorim. They both rejected and sort of stayed away from them.
Well, it looks like Alonso's staying.
Yeah,
we'll see what.
I mean, only recently, I think just today they found out that Onslaught from Feyenoord, he is probably going to be the manager. He was manager of Feyenoord. He won the league there, the KMVB Cup as well. Came second this year.
That's going to be a.
Well,
I don't think anyone coming into a long stint manager has ever done one.
Yeah. The journalist from Holland, he's saying that he's been a successful coach and made Feyenoord champions by playing crazy, sexy football. But do you think that it's going to be easy to replicate or even do the same what Klopp has done?
For me, he has to obviously recognize what he's done, but then he has to home in his ethos on the club straight away.
Yeah, he
can't do what managers have done, where they've come in, tried to play the style that was there before, to kind of keep the morale of the team and have them playing at a certain pace. I don't think it will work.
No.
And he's going to have to get rid of some players.
There'll probably be some players leaving.
Yeah.
I think a prime example is exactly Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso went in October of the year before.
Yeah.
They were bloody 17th, 18th or something like that.
Yeah.
Somehow got them all the way back into European places. And literally, I think who was it? Xhaka explained to, and then I listened to I'm gonna butcher his name. I was gonna say Frimpong. Is it Frimpong? Yeah, Frimpong. He was explaining how when he came in, there was a real directness to how he explained, and then he went home and he thought about all the managers that's been under him, as in Xavi's explained. I didn't even know Xavi's dad was a manager as well.
Yeah.
So there's a certain tone that you can tell Xavi comes across to each of them with. So that's all I want out of you. That's all.
All right.
Show me something. Like something. Like you can do anything. Just show me something.
The thing with Liverpool, right? Do you think that Klopp, they have to find someone that plays like Klopp? Because I think Klopp's almost installed his own sort of like way of playing there. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's embedded now.
I feel like Klopp is one of the only one of the few managers that actually has a say in the scouting routine. I 100% know that Dominic Szoboszlai was his signing. I know that for sure because it just fits his play style. Fits the play style so well. But whether the new manager coming in gets that same luxury is miss.
I guess we'll see. I mean, time's coming up soon to see, and we'll see who they get and how it works out. I mean, next up is Pep Guardiola from Man City. I think probably one of the greatest Premier League managers ever. Won a treble, done a three-peat, probably on the way to four-peat. Who knows?
If he wins this, there's no argument.
Do you think though? I think that we could talk about Pep Guardiola all day and say how great he is and whatnot. But I think that'll be a video for another day, right? But do you think Guardiola, if he leaves, when he leaves Man City, more I should say, can Man City still continue that dominance? No. Is there someone that can come in and replicate the dominance that Man City have?
I think you should answer that.
You really think I should answer? I can answer it for you.
Yeah.
I think, no, I don't think they can.
Exactly.
Do you know why? Because it's an interesting one. I'm really in two minds about it because when I looked at him leaving Barcelona, he left an amazing team there at Barcelona. And I can't remember who was that came in after him, and I can't remember who it was, but I know that not too long after him, it might have been Luis Enrique that came in and he won the treble with them. When he had Neymar, Suarez, and Messi, had the MS and True up front. So it is possible, but then again, that doesn't mean it's gonna happen, because it only happened once. I've ever seen it. And for me, it would feel like when Fergie left United, it would be like that. I think because the way City have set up with Guardiola, we got to remember, City had the luxury of spending money before financial fair play came into place. They had the luxury of buying whoever they want. They were smart with selling it, but they also were smart with who they get as well.
I think a key point, Justin, I don't mean to cut you off. A key point of what you mentioned is that key space between what that team looked like, what that Barca team looked like, and what that Man U team looked like when they left. Yeah.
I agree with that as well. And he definitely brings out good young players as well. He's a bit more. He's very good with the young players. You see Foden come through, Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis, like these guys, like they're wallers. When you look at them, they could probably fit into most Premier League teams starting 11.
Definitely Oscar Bob. He's
cold.
You know what? I disagree.
You really disagree?
We literally just spoke about someone that's just not rejected Liverpool but staying at their club. Like, I feel that everything will fall in place and the stars will align and Xabi Alonso goes to City.
Goes there.
And he's someone that can...
And not Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he's someone that can, like, pick up from where Pep's left, bring in his own ethos and continue greatness, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like he actually can do that because...
And if you look at Leverkusen, their play style is not that far amiss from what City do.
Because I feel like, to me, Pep, I compare him to Arsene Wenger. Hear me out. Because he's brought in his own ethos and changed so many things within the game.
Yeah.
And molded, the whole game is basically molded around them right now. And it's about him, like, being such a dominant figure, but even though being someone that's so influential as well.
Yeah, I think the greatest compliment you can have for him is like when your competitors are copying your style.
Yeah. So like, for me, he's like a more successful Wenger in my eyes.
He is.
I still think putting Wenger next to his name is an understatement, but you know, I'm gonna let you land.
Yeah, bro. They look at it, like they've both changed the game. And not just in sense of playing style, it's like how your clubs run, even though they've got charges against them, you know?
Yeah.
But like, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, but then you look at it, right? Think about, okay, let me go back to Wenger, right? And then you see who came after him, Unai Emery. And people look at him now and they say he's not a bad coach. He's actually very good when you look at him at Aston Villa. And he's been linked with big jobs.
But that's just Arsenal fans being Arsenal fans, isn't it?
Yeah, I hear you. But then he got sacked. He didn't do as great as people thought he would come in and do. Not that Wenger left on a high note or anything like that either. No. But from what he achieved there and what he sort of changed, he did the culture of Arsenal Football Club, and then Unai came, right? It's like going from Pep to someone else. I think Xabi Alonso, but
it's always going to be a step down.
But it's always going to be a step down, like, and you're still going to rely. Let's say Xabi Alonso's not available. Is there someone else?
Like, second choice.
Do you know what I mean?
Ancelotti will still be about, bro.
Maybe.
Carlo, I need you. Carlo,
they're
please.
always.
I was looking at pictures. You look great in blue, Carlo. You look amazing in blue.
With City, they're always gonna like have that like top echelon manager now.
Yeah.
Like being in the front of it, no matter where that person is in it. Yeah. That's just gonna be City from now on.
They're a high class brand.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I went on holiday and I seen the City shirt. Like I was
times are changing, man.
I've never seen that growing up. You don't see specific clubs outside of your realm.
Yeah.
It's like going to France, seeing a West Ham shirt. You're like, what's going on here? It was where we placed it. It's the same thing. Yeah. But now City are a household name, like guaranteed household name. So whenever that time comes, I actually think it will be sooner than most. Just because I feel like similar, it's not a health reason like Klopp, but sooner than most, that competitive edge, it does diminish.
Yeah. And
the team is aging.
Yeah. There was something I saw online the other day as well, and I think a lot of people claiming it, especially after the Real Madrid and Man City game, saying that Ancelotti is actually probably one of the most underrated managers, and if anything, he is probably better than Pep Guardiola as a manager, right? being a football coach is I think it's very different to being a football manager.
Yeah.
Being a coach is when you coach like the way they play, systems, whatnot. Being a manager, winning and getting the best out of players and being successful. Bear in mind, Ancelotti, he's won the Champions League at AC Milan. He won a Premier League with Chelsea. He was at PSG and Bayern, won the leagues there. It's a boat, right, normally. And look what he's done for Real Madrid. And bear in mind, if you look at Pep Guardiola, where he's gone from Barcelona, probably one of the greatest teams of all time, of course he's going to win. He's done his thing, don't get me wrong, but he's done it, and then he came to Man City, 115 charges, right? Later, he's then gone and won the Champions League. I don't know, what do you guys think?
You know what? Let me just put it in simpler terms like this, yeah? A coach and a manager is like Ancelotti and Pep. They're both on such opposite ends of the spectrum, innit?
They're still both on the same platform, right?
Yeah, so in saying like, Jude Bellingham came out the other day saying that Carlo Ancelotti was yawning in the dressing room and he's like, oh, just go out there and excite me. Like, you have to go and excite me. Like, he's such a free-flowing manager where he goes like, yo, just go out there, do whatever. Like, you know your positions, my team's told you what to do, go out there and do what you got to do. And then Pep...
he's definitely one of the best managers.
Pep is the guy that he's in your ear. Yeah, exactly. He's telling you, I need you to do this and that, or result in this. Then you have the decision, you do that or do that.
Like,
you know
how many times have you seen Pep come on camera and go...
Yeah, always for the cameras, isn't it?
See what I'm saying?
He's always trying to come up with something.
Saying? Bro, him and Stones be getting back and forth, bro. That's why I said Stones, you're my guy.
Guardiola's box office, that's what he is. He's a modern manager.
But I feel like similar, exactly reminiscent of what you're saying. I'm just going to reiterate it a bit. It's so in American football, we have terms where we have several coaches,
Defensive coach.
It goes, your defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. You have specific positional coaches, and there's specific reasons for that. Similar to that reason is what this is, I feel like. How you come across as a manager, and especially in this day and age, is so influential to what you see your players put out for you. So hence the wording of he's lost the dressing room. It's so used now. Like, it's just like you hear commentators are using it. They're not putting effort. If you saw what these Chelsea players were doing, and
go back,
I can't help but, similar to what we're saying, reflect that what they're hearing in the change room.
All right, let me give you this then. So if you're a young football player, right, and you're a professional and you're coming from, let's say, for example, like Aston Villa, wherever, right, you have a choice to go to Real Madrid, get managed under Ancelotti, or go to Guardiola at Man City. Who would you go to?
I'd go to Ancelotti.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Oh, you're lying. You're going to Pep, bro. You're lying. That's a lie.
Do you know why? Because for young players, Pep, he always has a contingency plan, like, and his plan for young players are like they're over 4 or 5 year periods. Remember what he did with Foden? And people were screaming, ranting and raving.
It wasn't 4 or 5 years with Foden, was it? It was like 3.
Yeah.
Well,
I hear. Let's generalize, innit? Like Pep's plan is not just come in and do what he can do. It's gonna be, he's gonna implement you in a squad bit by bit by bit by bit by bit, until he then creates a new magical form of role, like what he's doing with Foden. And then,
but I don't think it's magical. I think there's one thing I just really appreciate about Pep. There's one thing that managers do sometimes and be like, that bugs me. Oh, Cole Palmer, you know, we see how much we need him, and we're gonna bring him back next. No, bro.
Yeah.
If you're a manager, you know that's your guy. You're gonna let him rest. Do what you need to do to get results, because you're a manager that is efficient enough to do that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that so much about Pep, because he's never pushed that. David Silva, when he had that big run of injury, he never forced David Silva back. That's when we got the chance to appreciate what KDB could really bring into that team. And then we were like, oh, okay, cool. This is the transition between David Silva's team to KDB's team. And then now we're saying, okay, it's going to go slowly into Phil's team. But even I guess the quotations of that thought, it stemmed from Pep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I give him so much credit. Yeah. Because of having that football in mind.
The best, of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? Having that football in mind to be like, okay, cool, transitionally wise, I can do this and we can win short term. However, I want to make sure this treble run is something that I can actually find plausible to even do. Not something that he's even thinking about to say, but something that's plausible in the future. Giving myself a reminiscent space to do that. Do you know? You gotta give credit for that. That's some Leonardo da Vinci-ish.
Me personally, look, bro. Me personally, the reason I would say what I would say because I think they're both amazing managers, both elite managers, right? I personally myself, if I was a young player, I would go to Ancelotti. I'll tell you why though. I feel like when it comes to Guardiola, I think it's hard for him, even himself. He doesn't know his best starting 11, and you're a lot in and out of the squad. You look at Foden, right? He's very much in and out. I personally, I don't know if I would like that for myself. I can say it depends on how you see it. It's very subjective. I go to Ancelotti. I think Ancelotti already knows his starting 11, like his best starting 11. Like, if you're the Champions League final, who knows who's going to play? If Guardiola, you don't know. You really don't know.
No,
I think that's what's the beauty. That's the beauty of Guardiola.
No, but
like, he's madness. It's like
how about this argument now with the whole what does Real Madrid look like with Mbappe coming in next season with Rodrigo already? But Rodrigo is already playing out of position technically.
It's Mbappe though.
Okay, cool. So now what happens?
Yeah, but like I'm saying,
but as that type of manager, who's like, I guess, more leeway to trying to facilitate for a player rather than make a player facilitate to the team. How's that? I'll give him that. He makes Camavinga play a certain position that Camavinga doesn't love. But again, I think that just suits that player. He's very adaptive. Yeah. But other than that,
you bring in Mbappe, play him up top, still have Rodrigo and Vinny in the wings, and it's happy days, bro. Yeah,
well, we'll see what happens there. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I mean, it'll be crazy having that team.
That's a
all right, so next up, we'll have Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham.
Boo.
Tomato.
I'm gonna let the rival fans start.
Tomato.
I just got one question for you. Does Ange stay at Spurs if a big team comes knocking for him?
What big teams coming knocking for him?
Let's say if a Liverpool comes knocking for him.
I would.
Would Ange stick with Spurs?
You know what?
Knowing Spurs' history.
I don't.
To Tottenham.
For how Ange plays, I don't see him like picking up, say, for example, Liverpool squad, and then implementing that into them. He'd have to get rid of so many players and change. Obviously, we did say earlier that he'd had that whoever goes in there has to change the whole ethos of the club. But I don't see Ange doing that and being successful.
Yeah.
So I don't see him moving. He's got a project right now. Obviously, they've been hampered with injuries in it, but he's still had quite a successful time in it. Let's just say not in the sense of winning trophies, but obviously bringing in players and them having an impact on the club and how they play.
Yeah,
it's been quite successful, isn't it? So he's done. For me, he's done more than okay.
There's been progress.
There's been a lot of progress, innit?
Yeah, a lot of progress.
No matter like they're not off days, but those losses that are quite heavy.
Yeah.
The Newcastle 4-0, which is crazy, but.
And in comparison to those other teams, just not to cut you off, like their squad depth is non-existent.
Yeah. They're like Van der Ven's hamstrings, bro. They're thin.
When I was thinking of Tottenham, though, I think a lot of pundits and a lot of like football fans, they from a neutral point of view, they love seeing Tottenham play because the way they play, it's always going to be great, like open football, end-to-end, like a basketball game, right? But a lot of Spurs fans that I know, I'm pretty sure we all know that they're just not happy with him because of the way he's so like stubborn about the way he played. Like he won't change no matter what. Like I remember, you know what was really weird to me when people were still praising him when he had 9 men against Chelsea, and he's still playing the way they play. Yes, it looks good. It looks good to the eye, but it doesn't. At the end of the game, they got smashed.
Like it shows you got heart, but at the end of the day, you're losing like 5-2. It don't really matter, does it?
Results are what matters, right? And if you're getting smashed every single week by these teams, that probably, and I think like in cup competition, they're gonna fall short a lot because it's gonna be to the point where like.
But I feel like that was early on, no?
Sorry, what?
That game.
Yeah, but I'm saying like even recently, like I think like when they've got smashed, like what they got smashed 4-0, 3-0 at Fulham, then lost to Newcastle the other day at 4-0. They're just gonna get a lot of pumping. So
that's the thing for me, yeah. If you can't adapt to each week and who you play, and they know how to counter your style of play. Yeah. If you keep that the same, you're gonna get smashed 4-0 by Newcastle. You're gonna get smashed 3-0 by Fulham. It's gonna happen, innit?
Yeah.
So I hope he takes this year as a learning curve and finds a way to adapt to on a weekly basis, innit?
What would you rate him out of 10 this season?
I'd give him a 6.5. 6.6, 6.7.
I love you're very specific with these points. Like
It matters, you know. A 6 and a 7,
Yeah.
it's two different things, you know what I'm saying?
Adds up. Yeah, round about the same.
6.5? Yeah, I agree with you. All right, we're moving on then. We got someone that I probably should talk about as well, which is Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. Probably the laughing stock of the Premier League this season. But what I would say, Erik ten Hag did come out and say the other day, he said that in 18 months, I've never had my favourite team on the pitch because the players have been injured, right?
This guy.
Do we justify that? Do we justify? Bear in mind, right? If I put in your circumstances, and you know what, I think I'm in two minds myself about it. I don't think he's the right man. I think he's going to get sacked on the stage regardless of what happens in the FA Cup final or where he ends up in the league. But we can't deny that he has been quite unfortunate with the injury. The injuries have been really bad.
It's not just one season, sir.
It's not been one team, but last season he came third with a trophy, with a bit more, with a more stable team week in week out. When you look at this season, let's just look at it from this point of view, right? Arsenal, they lose their 2 centre backs, 3 centre backs, right? Bear in mind, because Man United will have one right now, which is Harry Maguire. No Saliba, no Gabriel. Who's your other centre back you have?
Either Kiri or let's just say Kiri.
And you leave Kivio. You've got no left backs, right? Bear in mind, either no left backs. Almost really. So you have to play a right back, which you have at that time. Tommy Asu on the left. You lose players that you brought in, for example, like Mason Mount. You lose Kai Havertz for this season. Hoyland's in and out this season. Rashford's not performing. Sack's not performing. Can you fully blame him?
Do you know what it is?
To an extent, do you understand what I'm saying though?
It's very understandable, but for his in-game management, for when you do have those injuries and then you might have one of your left, let's just say Shaw comes back in, then Mason Mount's come back in for a game. His in-game management for that is abysmal.
Yeah, it's worse than Poch's. I won't even cap. Might be the same, but slightly worse.
You can only play with what you have, and for what he's been left with hasn't been the worst. Dallow's had the season of his career for me. Yeah. Who else can I mention? Onana's on the up and up.
Garnacho's had an outbreaking season as well.
Hoyland's been decent here and there.
Yeah, but obviously there's still that debate of Hoyland not having service. Yeah. Which
he doesn't get much.
He doesn't, but then
how many goals is Hoyland?
Who cares? Who cares, really, innit?
He only started firing a few months ago as well. Yeah. But I mean, there is a new board of directors, the new football director, the new sporting director coming in. I mean, they're already coming.
Has been finalised, yeah.
Yeah. Wilcox coming from Southampton. They're probably gonna get for his name, the guy from Newcastle, technical director. They've had Omar come in. You see Jim Ratcliffe, but let's say Ten Hag gets sacked, which is probably going to be the inevitable.
It'll probably be another unknown name. Well, not unknown name, but
to the standard English fan.
Yeah. The average footballing fan will have to do some quick research into it. I can see the Sevilla manager, whatever his name was. I can't remember his name. Yeah, I can see his name popping up again. I genuinely don't know who wants that job like that. I understand that. I understand the name, the P's. It's like the Chelsea job as well. Yeah, I don't know who wants the job.
There's been a name thrown out there. 2 names I've seen that mostly, but one of them is Tuchel quite recently. Thomas Tuchel, who's been mentioned.
If he gets fired from Bayern,
he probably will.
He's gone.
He's leaving.
He said he's gone. Yeah.
And the other one is Zidane.
Yeah.
But there's someone like
whoever wrote that article, shame on you.
But what I'm saying,
liar.
Do you come into the squad? Forget about the squad. There's a new sort of regime. It's new. It's fresh, right? What do you think? Who do you think is the right person for the job?
I don't know who's the right person, but whoever goes there is gonna have a tough time.
It's tough.
Because it's gonna be another rebrand, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've had how many rebrand? You've had 4 or 5 rebrands. Yeah. It's gonna happen again, and then you're gonna have to take time again to then get that ethos going, get your club back.
But I
back
think
in shape.
Your situation is actually a lot more pleasant than you actually think. I think you have the players in the building. I think you have at least half in the building.
But who though? I'd say Onana. I don't know about Dalot because he could have another stinker again.
You can easily build around Kobe.
Yeah. Yes, Kobe Manu, yeah.
And I still think Hoyland and Rashford should actually play as a 2 up front.
That's the thing with Rashford though. He's gonna have. He's had his off season. next season he might have Ballon d'Or shots again, bro.
No,
You
yeah.
never know with this guy,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. I feel like whoever comes in, I think they need to implement themselves as like, I think Ten Hag tried to do that, but it didn't work. And try and have say that, look, I'm the one in charge, and you guys listen to me and etc. But it hasn't worked. I think that's why I think a big name, not someone who's managed in Holland. No offense to like the Holland league, but like it's just compared to what Manchester United are expecting, and with these players and their attitude, it's not going to run. So that's what I think.
I don't think he had like it's not the Pogba days. It's not where you have like a bunch of big name guys walking around with their chest out. I don't think it's that. I think there's quite a little bit of humility when I see a lot of them leave the pitch nowadays. Like, and it's not like the last game, like when they all left. I don't think other than Anthony, a lot of them understood the situation quite visibly.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I don't blame Anthony.
Maguire's one of them. I give
think
credit for that.
Yeah. Literally, how you
like,
spoke was like how you want your captains to speak.
person,
I don't know what you're gonna do about that situation, bro.
What would you guys rate him out of 10?
Who?
So we know your number.
Ten
Yeah.
Hag.
You know what? Oh, we did it just off this season.
Yeah, just this season.
This season.
I'm going to give him a 4.8.
It's tough. What? 4.8. Okay, yeah, that's above Poch. Yeah. I'll give him a 5.
I'll give him a 4. Just because from what it was last season compared to this season, on the field,
I think this is I think this is a more strong reality of what last season was. I think barring Rashford's run, which I still find how you people don't give Rashford his credit for that run.
Well, no, I do.
Barring that run, I think the season looked fairly similar.
You know what? Yeah, to put in summary, for what he's had to work with this season, obviously Malacia. Malacia is probably one of the biggest misses. I would say a letdown, but he's been a big miss.
Oh yeah, he has,
big miss because
he
he's
recently
been
popped up on Instagram or like social media. He went missing. For
time, bro. It's like someone kidnapped him, bro.
The people actually genuinely think he was in prison.
And like,
you know, Quincy Promise.
Good see.
We were like, no, he's involved, bro. He was gone. No, it was nowhere.
So like for what he's had this season, and for what he hasn't had, he's underachieved in it. And for me, the biggest thing is like the style of play. It's been non-existent, bro. It's like he just says, "Yep, Rashford, you go play, and everybody else do what you want to." Like, bro, it's just not good enough, innit?
Speaking of style of play, another one whose style of play is pretty interesting, and I think we'll end it here as well. Mikel Arteta in Arsenal.
Boom. Yo.
Quick question for you, Dre. I think this is definitely something I'm actually interested in what you're gonna say. Arteta might be the only manager apart from Guardiola and Klopp to win the Premier League in the past 6 years.
Yeah, but
do you think but let's say if he does, let's say if he goes and wins the Premier, right? Do you think it's probably one of the best achievements in the Premier League era? Bearing in mind how dominant everyone considers Klopp and Guardiola and the teams they have, and for Arteta to come
put in what your team looked like before and when you're about to fire him.
Is this one of the best managerial? Would that be one of the best managerial achievements in the Premier League era?
Think about it. You're gonna fire this guy.
What do you think?
Give me 5 minutes.
I think barring
the Leicester one, I would say. It'd be up there, right?
110%.
It would be up there, but I wouldn't say it's the best.
No. I meant for Arsenal specifically. Premier League wise, I think
nah. Because obviously we did the Invincibles, no?
I'm so confused, bro. Do you know how long the gap has been?
It would be one of the best. Yes.
Bear in mind, Arteta only started recently. That's his first team he's ever managed. Arteta is Arsenal is the first team Mikel Arteta has managed as a football manager. Like he's been assistant obviously for Guardiola.
Yeah.
But for him to come in and and go and win a Premier League, that's
it's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy. I think a lot of time there's an ethos put forward, and then there's time given. And then
that's one thing that doesn't happen in the Premier nowadays.
There's that gap in between. It doesn't always happen for all of them.
Yeah,
he can merge his idealism to something that he didn't quite like, but he's liked it now.
Do you reckon if, let's say, he goes and wins the Premier League this year or next season, can Arsenal become like one of the dominant forces in Europe?
No.
In England or Europe?
Man said no straight away. Like, take some time, buddy.
He said dominant forces.
Bear in mind, right?
Bro, we just reached the quarterfinals.
Do you know
the Champions League.
Do you know it's with Arsenal, right?
Is it okay? Cool.
Think about it. Arteta has not made one mistake when it comes to hold on. When it comes to like for example, buying a player. What one would you say is, apart from maybe the Nicolas Pepe? He bought Nicolas Pepe, right?
What's my man? Tierney.
Tierney.
Yeah.
Was he there before? No.
Can't find. I think he was there before.
Oh, Zinchenko, you mean? Zinchenko's probably the only one where it's not been.
But the thing is, Zinchenko's he's influential.
I don't think Zinchenko's a mistake though.
He's just a bad defender.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not been a terrible decision. So it's like there's not been a thing where he's actually sort of like, Arteta's not actually done terrible in this situation.
And I actually feel like Arteta has a lot of say in that recruitment.
Yeah,
basis in Arsenal.
Can Arteta and Arsenal win a major trophy in the next 5 years? I think they can.
100%.
Oh yeah, I think no. They can win a major trophy if you do. I think my glaring thing is always if you win something one year, can you make an appearance of that liable in Champions League? So there's one thing doing it in the Prem, in the sense of like understanding where you are. Can you do it after everyone's aware of you?
Yeah.
You're not surprised anymore.
I think Arsenal not too far from being maybe a very dominant
team.
And I think
they have to dominate. They have to dominate Liverpool. And
if Guardiola eventually leaves,
yeah,
Klopp's already left. He's leaving, right? Let's say Guardiola leaves next season.
I don't think Pep leaves next season.
Let's just say
he does.
It's right for the picking, isn't it? Depending on who those teams.
Phil Foden and them, and I still there, bro.
Yeah, but man, bro, they can't really do that with a manager.
I can't.
I won't lie. Following what I saw yesterday, if he does it, if he uses his noggin and he plays Rice on the 8th again.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, look,
Arteta's had an amazing time in it.
What would you rate him out of 10 this season? Then?
This season, probably give him a. I was gonna say something so mad.
Okay,
I'd give him.
Let's say if he doesn't win the Prem, and if he does win the Prem.
Cool. If he doesn't win the Prem, I'd say a 7.9. If he wins the Prem, 8.5.
I think he's had a more solid year than last year, so I would give him an 8.5 if he doesn't win it. If he wins it, it's a 10, bro.
Maybe I am being a bit harsh.
If he genuinely wins,
because he's picked Arsenal up like literally out of the mud.
If you man win the Prem, I could overreact right now.
I think
it's a 10.
It's also hot. It's also unfair for the critics for Arsenal when they lost to Bayern. Bayern are solid European team.
Exactly.
They know how. Whereas Arsenal, they don't have that European pedigree just yet, or if they will, but they don't have that. So I'll give him, if we win the Prem, I'll give him an 8.5. Probably just scraping maybe a 9. That's about it. But if anything before that, I'd probably be like a 7. So yeah. But yeah, man. So that's what I'd say. Yeah. I guess we'll finish off. Like the thing, there's been quite talks about Ballon d'Or, because it's coming up very soon, end of the season soon as well. So I think it's best way to finish that with the versus round that we
throw some names in the comments who you think should be nominated or in the top 5. Let's say top 5.
Yeah,
I don't like the top 10. Top 10. I don't think there's enough people or players this year that've really had an outstanding year. I think top 5. You wanna give some random names?
Yeah, we won't. I mean, it won't be too long, I guess, for this.
Yeah, we'll just throw some random names.
I mean, whose name sticks out for you
this year?
Vinny, Jude.
Okay, you say one. You said one. So
huh?
You want to say
who would
one.
you pick?
Sorry. If I had to pick one, it's gotta be the JB, man. Broomtown stand up. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's still quite tough to say, bro.
Not Bromley, bro.
I was trying to say Brom.
Don't disrespect my Brom guys. You know what I'm saying?
Mbappe's in for a shout though.
For what,
bro? If he wins, let's say he wins the Champions League with this PSG team, right? If he does. And if France also go win the Euros.
Okay, that's a big ifs.
But then they can say that about Bellingham as well. Like, if they go win the Champions League. If England go win the Euros.
They just need to win the Champions League.
Because they're already winning the league.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. I know, that's the unfair thing about Mbappe, because he's already in like a one-team league. So, I can't...
And they're not even in the league of that league right now.
Who?
PSG.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
So there's no way...
Wait, what?
PSG aren't winning league.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they win the league, definitely.
Yes, they are. They were like 10 points ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Do you mean Champions League?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
league, like no one cares about that league, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's a bit more underrated.
I don't care.
Underlooked,
bro. It's underlooked, innit? But
yeah,
it's still a top 5 Euro.
No one cares.
It's still a top 5 European league, and you still have to do your dirt there, innit? And there's been a lot of players that have been there, like Zlatan, you've got your Beckhams.
Champions League is an important one, so I'll probably say If like I said, if PSG win it, it depends. If PSG wins, Mbappe. If Real win it, could be Jude.
But that's the thing, though. Mbappe hasn't. He's had
a name out there.
Like Junior.
Gonna say Verts, Bayern Leverkusen, something different.
Yeah, but they never just give it to someone that's had their not breakthrough, but on the main stage. You know what I'm saying?
I just want them in the top 5 at least.
And I think a lot of Ballon d'Or winners come also from credit as well. Like it won't just be like someone who's just like popped out. Even though I think if Bayer Leverkusen got unbeaten and win 4 trophies this season, 3 trophies, that's unheard of.
And I don't think they give it to them because it never works like that, innit? It's off of credit from years before. You know what I'm saying?
Xabi Alonso will win Manager of the Year though. That's definitely
100%.
Yeah,
has to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, that's been the show, guys. It's been quite a long show. We kind of went off time there, but it was still a good show.
Hopefully you enjoyed me crying.
Yeah.
You enjoyed Nico getting into some real stats. Like, subscribe, share. Please share. I'm on these lights. They keep the light on. You know, please. It takes pocket. So please, like, comment and share. Share to your friend, your auntie, your cousin that doesn't really like football but wants to hear it. And we'll see you again next week.
And don't worry, next week won't be like this, bro. DJ ain't gonna cry next week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
If not,
over and out, man.
Peace.
Love.
Rest.